Satan is called the accuser, right? That's his title. Like the Christ is the title and the accuser is the other title. Because if we know its actual fucking name, we'd actually gain dominion over them. Maybe that's why they keep using fronts and shell companies and all this shit. Even spiritually speaking. Anyway, so the accuser, right? Well, the accuser where? To what? Of what? Well, even the title of their God. So think about this. Even the title of their God, which wants to raise their Antichrist, right? Which is the opposite of the Christ. Are you following? I hope you do. So even their God, which is called the accuser, just by his title itself implies the existence and the finality, the conclusion of a final judgment. Do you realize this? Because it's the accuser. Accuser where? Accuser in what? Well, I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be the accuser in the heavenly court. This guy is literally keeping track of, yeah, so, okay, we got the Jay-Z and Beyonce, yeah, a couple of unalivings, okay, yeah, they wanted power, they wanted money, yeah, okay, sure, I'm not telling everything because YouTube is YouTube, but you understand my gist. The point is, he was keeping track for God. He's doing his job. Like, if you transcend duality in thinking, you get to observe your own thinking and how you react to the information you're being fed and how the human in you thinks. You think about the thinking. That's the highest, most abstract level of intelligence, probably. But you realize that these sides, they are opposite by design. They use themselves so they can express their own individuation, but the separation, as in the material world, that's fake. But the karma you incur by going against the best option for you, the best timeline for you, by sinning, because sinning really refers to the sine wave of time, if you were to look at it mathematically. So, when you sin, you get the accuser on your side, you get him to work and give you the stuff you wanted, because you did not really deserve that shit. You got it by, well, trading in your privilege, as in your soul, as in your birthright, as in your divinity, the spark of divinity that is within you, the covenant, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. And 2026, it's a year about revelation. It's a year when everyone really gets to show themselves like who they really, really are. It's a year when everyone, even though I'm saying that duality is an illusion and that the material world is just, it's an illusory plane of separation. Even though I'm saying that, bro, the karma is real. Like, the karma incurs you that you have to pay for whatever you sought, whatever you wanted, at every cost you took, at every shortcut you took. It has to be paid. It has to. It's a thermodynamic law of energy. You took energy that was not yours to take, and therefore you have a debt to return it in time. Because all energy is capped. You cannot make or take energy. It can only transform across time and space. That's basically how time works. The aeonic time I was talking about. It's a spiral. And it either spirals downwards or it either spirals upwards. Hopefully, you are all thinking about the upwards part. And I'm not saying looking at the sky necessarily, because, yeah, they have blue beam. I mean, there's a lot of illusions going around. Who the fuck knows what you're looking at? And plus, AI news, AI render stuff, it's all gonna get weirder from this point on. So I do advise you to practice caution, but at the same time, this is not serious. You can't take any of this shit serious. It feels like an overlay, more like a real life. Pay attention to your dreams. You never know what you see in them. Know what I'm saying? Dreams are very important, and I'm not gonna tell you why in this episode. But I can tell you this much, guys. This is not my dream. I mean, I do not want the same things that these people want to impose upon me. And upon you. Upon all of us. I'm not okay with this. I do not consent to any of this shit. So, I cannot really tell you exactly how it's gonna go down and what's gonna happen, but I can show you how the world really looks like, and then I guess this is where the praying and the faith comes in. Even though I'm not such a big fan in end times of this, it has its use and it has its relevancy. I'm never gonna deny that. But I will acknowledge, face to face, man, face to face, I will acknowledge that it gets hard at some points. And it does feel like we're alone. But you can't think like that. I mean, that's just a projection on you. Because remember in Stranger Things, remember Will, when he had this feeling of the mind flare of Vecna, you know, and that was basically referring to the hive mind, right? When he had the feeling that the hive mind was trying to look from him or trying to access him, he put his right hand on his back of the head, on the back of his head. And that's where the cerebellum is, or the reptilian brain. So again, these are all projections. This is how the astral works. This is very priceless information for people with a soul. For people without any souls and for NPCs, they have no idea what they just heard.